Hey guys, so today's lesson is adding and subtracting polynomials. If you haven't seen the video that I posted, please watch that first. Here I'm just going to do practice problems. So in this video, I'm assuming you watched the previous video already. Okay, so again, I'm just going to recap as I go through this. For the first problem, I'm adding, and I know I'm adding because I'm looking at the middle. So by looking at that, what I'm going to do is just bring everything down out of parentheses. Whenever you're adding, you don't really need the parentheses anymore because that doesn't change your signs. Okay. Then what you want to do is look for like terms. Okay. This is my highest variable. There are no other terms that have cubed. So I can't combine that with anything. Here's my only squared term, and then I have two constant terms. Okay, so those are the only ones I can combine. But what I'm going to do is just start writing my answer. Your answer needs to be in standard form. So you need to put the highest variable first to the lowest. So what I'm going to do is rewrite my 5x cubed, since that's my highest variable. Then I'm going to write my 2x squared. Remember to bring the signs in front of you with it. And then I'm going to combine the 4 and the 2. That gives you 6. So this is your answer. I'm also going to name this polynomial. So this polynomial is a third degree polynomial. You want to look for the highest power. Because it's third degree, it's called a cubic. So this is a cubic, and there are 1, 2, 3 terms. So it's a cubic trinomial. Okay, that would be the name of it. All right. For number 2, it's similar, only you have a negative now. Whenever you have a negative, you need to distribute the negative to the inside of your second parentheses, the parentheses that's right after your negative. So what I'm going to do is bring down the first polynomial down. You don't need the parentheses, but for the second one, I'm going to distribute the negative. So negative times 2x is just negative 2x. You can see this as a negative 1 if you want. And then the second one, a negative times a negative is positive 3x. So it just changes your signs. Okay, for this one, you want to combine like terms. Now, all of these end up being like terms because they're all technically exponents to the first power, so I can combine all of them. Okay, so what I'm going to do is just add. Okay, so 3 minus 2 is just 1. And if you want, you can add 1 at a time. So if you want to do that, you could just say, oh, that's 1x, and then bring everything else down. If not, you could just add them all at once. Either way is fine. I don't really care how you do it. And then the second thing you want to do is keep combining. So just look at your numbers in the front. So 1 minus 2 is negative 1. I'm just going to keep adding. You could just put that negative 1x down, but negative 1 plus 3 is going to give you 2. So I'm going to say this is 2x, and this is your answer. Now, for this one, you want to name it. Now, the highest power is 1. If there's nothing there, it's a 1. So for that one, the degree is 1. So I know this is a linear, and the number of terms is also 1. Okay, there's only one term. So this is a monomial. Okay, so this is a linear monomial. And if you'd like, you can look at your homework. Your homework has kind of a some notes, some charts at the top that can help you name. You can also watch the video that I linked to before. Okay. Number 3, you're adding. Remember, when you're adding, you drop your parentheses, rewrite it, 2x plus 4 plus x plus 2x. Then you combine. Okay. Now for this one, I can combine my x's together. Okay. Remember, if there isn't a number in front of your x, you can always put a 1. And then the 4 is on its own. It's a constant. So what I'm going to do is combine my x's first. So I'm going to say 2x plus 1x plus 2x is going to give me 5x. And then the 4, I'm just going to rewrite it, plus 4. Okay, so we're going to name this. So what we're going to do is look for our highest power. It's a 1. And there are 2 terms. So 1, 2 terms. Okay, so because the highest power is 1, it's going to be a linear, sorry. I was going to say constant, but it's not. It's going to be a linear. And this time it's a binomial. So this one's a linear binomial. Okay, linear because the highest power is 1, and then binomial because there are 2 terms. So 1, 2 terms. Okay, the next problem that I have for you. Okay, I have a plus in the middle, so just bring everything down. So 4x squared minus 7x plus 1 plus x squared plus 3x plus 6. If you want color code, so my highest power is squared. I'm going to underline those in one color. The next highest is just linears, so just x's. And then lastly, I have constants. Okay, so I'm going to start off with the highest power, put it in standard form. So 4x squared plus x squared in red is going to give me 5x squared. Remember, there's a 1 in here. Then next is the yellow. So negative 7x plus 3x is going to give me negative 4x. And then my constants, 1 plus 6 gives me 7. So this is my answer, but I want to name it. So the highest power is 2. That makes this a quadratic. And there are 1, 2, 3 terms. So this is a trinomial. Okay, perfect. All right, this is the last one I have for you. So sometimes what you'll get is polynomials that are named. So the name of this polynomial is f, and the name of this polynomial is g. Okay, so what you want to do is perform operations. Like for example, for 5 part A, it says find f plus g. So it wants you to add them together. So what I'm going to do is color code for you. F I'm going to use in blue, and then g I will use green. Okay, so you're just going to substitute. Okay, so what I'm going to do is take my f. I have 3x squared minus 6. By the way, when you substitute, you want to use parentheses. Plus g is 7x squared plus 2x squared plus 10. Okay, and then just combine. So just like the last problem, when you have addition in the middle, you just bring everything down. 3x squared minus 6 plus 7x squared plus 2x squared plus 10. Then you combine. Okay, so I have 1, 2, 3 square terms. So what I'm going to do is just go ahead and add those together. So here I have 3 plus 7 plus 2, that's going to give me 12x squared. Then you can combine the other ones. So the other ones are going to be constants. Negative 6 plus 10 is positive 4. Okay, this is a binomial. There are 2 terms, and the highest power is 2, so it's a quadratic. So this is a quadratic binomial. Okay, for part B, it's the same, only you're subtracting, but we're going to substitute the same way. So I'm going to plug f in here, plug g in here, and put a minus sign in between. Okay, so let me rewrite that for you. So that one's going to turn into, remember, put them in parentheses. I'm going to move down here because I don't have enough space. So I'm going to do 3x squared minus 6 minus, and then g is 7x squared plus 2x squared plus 10. Okay, by the way, you could combine these inside if you'd like before you distribute. I'm going to do that for you guys now. So this is 3x squared minus 6 minus, so if you could ever combine inside before you distribute, do that. So for this one, I have 7x squared plus 2x squared. That's going to give me 9x squared. Bring down your plus 10. Then I'm going to distribute this negative to both. Okay, bring the first one down. So 3x squared minus 6. And then I'm going to have negative 9x squared. The plus 10 turns into minus 10. Then combine your like terms. The x squares can be combined, and then the minus 6 minus 10 could be combined. So this turns into negative 6x squared. And then my constants give me a minus 16. Okay. This is also a quadratic binomial, and it's a quadratic binomial because the highest power is 2 and there are 2 terms. Okay, I hope you found this helpful. I've attached your homework. Your homework is essentially the same as this. It's practice problems that you're doing. Make sure you do all problems except for 11 and 12 on the second page. All right, bye you guys.